Before we get started, it's really important for you to understand my perspective and where I'm coming from. I have no bias towards any school of yoga. So this tutorial on Chaturanga is not based on the Iyengar system or the Ashtanga system or anything else. It's based on my understanding of biomechanics and human anatomy. So it's not the way it's done in certain schools of yoga, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The Chaturanga pose normally follows a press-up plank position from here. Now I think this sets everything up for your Chaturanga. So if I use all 5 fingertips of both hands to make sure that my balance is even between the left and right side of my body. So I pause, I just shift, I feel all 5 fingertips, I travel forward and back, and now I'm in a better position to begin my Chaturanga. What I personally do and what I instruct my clients and students to do is I ask them to imagine they're taking a punch. Now, if you think of my relaxed belly, taking a punch, I just pull in and tighten. And so that's what I want to do here. I want to, there, take the punch. So first thing, take the punch. Secondly, I push the floor away from me, which rounds my upper back and really contracts pectorals, front of the shoulder, the anterior deltoid, and the back of the arm, the tricep muscle. So I want to really engage those muscles and take the punch. This isn't wrong, it's just not ideal. This is going to ensure that when I lower down, I can lower my entire body down rather than this. You see how my hips sink and my shoulders do this, which I want to avoid. So to avoid both of those faulty movement patterns, I want to take the punch and push the floor away. And then what I do is I try and lower my entire body down. I don't lower the chest down, which is what most people do. So if you look at the difference, if I lower my chest down, I do something like this. And in my opinion and experience, most people who do yoga don't have the upper body strength for the demand they're placing on their upper body. And it does lead to a feeling of discomfort in the shoulders and ultimately, worst case scenario, shoulder injuries. So you really want to ensure that you're lowering the entire body down. So punch, think about the body. Elbows face behind, turn the elbows away like this. So there. So when you bend, the elbows point behind you rather than out here. See how awkward this looks? So again, punch, push, and then I turn my elbows and lower down. And you lower down as far as you can go and push back up again. If you can't push back up, I think you've gone too far down, which isn't building your tolerance to do this pose. So what I mean by that is if I go here and then crash, I'm not getting stronger and more efficient in that particular movement, and I'm just hoping for the best. So you're better off doing this, coming up and then moving on, as opposed to just kind of crashing down and hoping for the best, because this version builds strength, it builds your tolerance, which is so important for many of the female practitioners who do yoga. You need stronger arms, you need to build that strength, improve bone density. You really want to have confidence in your arms, and you achieve that by building up. Maybe in a few weeks' time, you go a little bit lower and push up. And over time, you will build your tolerance up. You really want to aim to do Chaturanga here. So the back of the arm is parallel to the floor. I don't know if it is because I can't see myself. And then have the capacity to push straight back up again. That is what I think most people should aspire to do. And if you can't, keep persevering, keep working on that movement, build that muscle memory, or more specifically, it's called motor memory because it is the brain that's computing and storing that information rather than the muscle. It just so happens that the brain has a cable that runs all the way to that muscle. So we think of it as muscle memory, but it's actually motor memory. Repetition, 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 and eventually stomach in, take the punch, push away, lower down, hold, and do whatever you're going to do next. The big mistake that people make, and you'll see this in the following video I'm about to upload from the teacher training, is most people do Chaturanga because it's what you do before upward facing dog. And they don't treat it as a standalone pose, which it should be. Work on your Chaturanga and every single week feel like you're improving even by 1%. And then give it time, be patient with the process, and you will absolutely nail your Chaturanga. It is not as hard as most people make it out to be. It takes patience, it takes time, and it takes an understanding of what is required to do the pose. And that is durability of muscles to push you back up. Gravity wants you to sink down. You control that movement using your arms, using your core muscles, and you learn to push back up again. An additional note is I have a very, very bad shoulder, surgery level bad, and I do not feel any discomfort whatsoever when I do Chaturanga. And that is because the distribution of weight is so even through my body that I don't feel any pressure on the shoulder. However, if I'm not thinking consciously about creating that weight distribution between the front part, forward, left and right, I will instinctively use my stronger side more, which does hurt my shoulder. We all have some sort of built-in mechanism where our body's telling us when it's going wrong. Mine is just a bit more heightened, but we do need to listen to what the body is saying. If you came out of your Chaturanga and said you feel it in your wrist, I would argue that your weight distribution is incorrect and you're using your right wrist more than you should. So you go again, this time with more awareness of all 5 fingertips. You want to drag your fingers around like that tiger grip. You want to get your weight distribution right, and then ideally that discomfort in the wrist is gone. If you like this video and would like to see more in the future, visit our website akramyoga.co.uk. You can check out our online courses and our blogs. There is a ton of information for wannabe yoga teachers. There are free resources. Take advantage of it and feel free to contact me if you have any questions. It's Zahir at akramyoga.co.uk.